Yeah, that'd be like a little kid being like, "Call me God."
Yeah. What, like, bruh, really?
Are you the second coming of Christ? Hello? Hello and welcome back to the Nuanced AF pod. I'm Juan.
I'm Lex.
And we are two highly empathetic people that are always trying to find the nuance in everything because everything is nuanced AF. Lex, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm also doing very well. Lex, I don't know about you, but I am feeling episode 22.
22.
We have officially made it to 22 episodes, which is actually one more than our other podcast, Wandering.
Oh, nice.
So
That's funny.
yeah. We've been trying to stay consistent with it, and with more or less varying degrees of success. So shout outs to us. So speaking of other things in the 20s, on the day that we're filming this, the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana
Yeah, that's crazy.
released on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And
You're just watching the Hannah Montana movie.
yeah. And we were just talking about how apparently this wasn't a real thing
Yeah.
until Miley spoke it into existence.
Yeah.
And then Disney was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And so I just think that's pretty cool, especially since you were telling me how it was inspired by Dolly Parton.
Yeah, I think Miley said something similar to I learned this bad habit from Dolly, which was to basically lie about the thing happening. Because by that point it's once you say it, well, you know, they gotta kind of make it happen. So it's kind of pushing people into a corner. But I guess if you really want something to happen, then you know, it's kind of like manifesting, I guess.
Yeah. And I was just telling you how I wasn't exactly sure where Miley, for the longest time I wasn't sure how Miley felt about Hannah Montana. I wasn't sure if she, was trying to distance herself from it, just let it be in the past, or if she really, really appreciated it.
I think it's 50-50 when it comes to child stars. A lot of the
Yeah.
time, whether or not they there's too much going on, or it was too traumatic, or whatever.
Yeah, I think she received some award. I think some sort of Disney award where she paid a lot of tribute to Hannah Montana's, and that was the moment I was like, okay, cool. She really likes it. She respects what it did for her, and it's still a part of her.
Yeah, I think you can respect kind of where you came from, but still grow in a different direction.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what Miley's doing.
Yeah, because some of the child stars that I was mentioning, like Josh Peck and Jeanette McCurdy.
Yeah.
The stuff that they're famous for, like iCarly and Drake and Josh. I know Josh kind of respects it, but it's I'm gonna leave that in the past if I can, and I get it because his formative years were televised, and
that's hard.
Yeah,
it's a hard place to
be. And then with Jeanette McCurdy, I mean, we know from her book and all the things that have come out, all the terrible stuff. So
it was not a good time for her personally, or
I can see why she just wants nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she's friends with Miranda Cosgrove and
I
some
think some of the relationships are still there. But
yeah.
It's generally wants nothing to do with when iCarly was rebooted kind of thing.
Yeah.
She didn't want anything to do with that. Similar. I feel a lot of people do that. Mary-Kate and Ashley did that with Fuller House, and there's just sometimes you just don't want to return to that thing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. But luckily, Hannah is down to return, and
I'm very interested to see what they have to say.
Yeah.
I'm very interested.
Yeah. And that is going to lead us very nicely into our Am I the Asshole for this week.
Okay.
I actually had a different Am I the Asshole, but I was like, let's just make this Hannah Montana themed.
Cohesive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that other Am I the Asshole next week. So this week, Am I the Asshole for telling my niece the truth about Hannah Montana?
Oh, is this a Santa Claus situation?
Exactly. I, 16 female, have an 8-year-old niece, my sister's 28 female kid. I love her, but she's a bit dense. She thinks the Muppets are real, for example. I was babysitting her yesterday, and she was watching Hannah Montana on Disney Plus, and she thought Hannah and Miley were different people. I explained that actually it's the same person, but she just wears a blonde wig. My niece started crying, and when my sister found out, she went mad. She says I ruined my niece's childhood by telling her this, and she says that any normal aunt wouldn't tell her the truth. I think she's wrong, but wanted to ask the sub your opinions. So...
Well, first of all, I think it's a little rude to call your 8-year-old niece dense. Like, I'm like, she's 8.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I don't think you're the asshole, but that part right there is a little asshole-y-ish.
Yeah.
So, but it's not like she said it to the niece's face.
Yeah.
She's just saying this.
And this person's also 16, so she's also young.
Yeah, you're young too.
Yeah, now. Like, so it's like, I think that's a little teenager-y, being like a teenager being a little bit like, I know better than you. Like,
that makes me superior to you.
Exactly. In my wise 16-year-old years, which like
I'm grown.
Yeah, and sometimes that's true. Sometimes 16-year-olds are very astute observers, but like, or can say a lot of things that are like profound. But this is not one of those times. I don't think this is not a profound observation. I think she's just sort of making fun of her niece who's 8.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would say she's like asshole light, maybe.
The opinions
I wouldn't
of the
say, like,
subreddit
overtly.
are like unanimously not the asshole,
Yeah.
and their points were basically being like, "Hey, listen, the whole premise of the show is how like Miley is complaining about this double life of hers. It's hard to balance.
Yeah.
And this is different from like a Santa Claus situation where
true.
like, that secret of Santa. Oh, sorry if there's any kids watching, but is like can be kept for like well beyond like your little years.
Yeah, I think it really just depends on how you would handle it. I don't like think the 16-year-olds like like that's what you're talking about the show. You know what I mean? Like that's not.
I think I think the 28-year-old
sister
is a little like, hey, calm down. Like
yeah, because like that's your sister who is also young, mind you, and then like your daughter who is also young, and like and I don't.
This is not life ruining.
I don't blame the minors.
This is not childhood ruining.
No, I don't blame the minors at all.
Like I'm sure like you might. The child might initially be sad.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's kind of like that breaking of the illusion a little bit.
Yeah.
But
the illusion...
This is definitely one of the things that, when you're older, you're going to laugh at.
Oh, 100%. And like the illusion was wrong to begin with. So, but also I think that's normal.
The illusion wasn't even an illusion to begin with.
Yeah.
The only people that were like, I don't know, like falling for the illusion were like the fake audience in the show.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We, as the real audience, knew all the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah, like we got all of the...
From the get-go, we knew.
Mm-hmm, yeah, that this was like a double life situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the kid, no.
Yeah, so like even
fine.
if the kid's young and they maybe doesn't quite understand that, I don't think that's a bad thing to explain.
No, I don't, because it is the premise of like the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I get like the little girl being a little sad, but also oh no, I think the teenager a little mean for saying that she's dense, and then I think the sister-in-law or the sister is just like, why are you freaking out so bad? Like, like it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't call your 8-year-old niece dense, and but also don't freak out at your sister for fucking telling the premise of the show. Telling the premise of the show, Hannah Montana, like like it is. It is a teen. It is a teen girl like leading a double life, and I think I don't know. I remember thinking that premise was so cool. Yeah,
I think it's like, and I also think it makes sense, like the context of it. Like she's a pop star, like she wants to have a normal life, and she also wants to have her pop star life. So it makes sense to want, because that's what a lot of people complain about when they're famous, that you don't have any privacy, you don't have any, autonomy, like everything is just online or publicized or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the premise makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder, like, are there any like real Hannah Montanas out there? Like, is Taylor Swift technically secretly this brunette that like is just puts on her wig and performs as Taylor Swift, but she's really, I don't know, Britney Smith. I don't know.
Like, that's like way too close to Britney Spears.
I didn't even think of that, but yeah.
I think that it's possible, yeah, that there are some people who are, but I think also that's why stage names are a thing, because like Taylor Swift is an interesting one because her actual name is like the company, the brand, like everything. Where like someone like Chappell Roan, like that's her stage name. You know, like that's not her like, you know, government name. So it's like, it's a little, there's more separation.
Right.
I feel like from like the art versus the artist, where like Taylor Swift, it's hard to know who is like Taylor Swift the brand and then who is Taylor Swift the person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that people often conflate like Michael Jackson in the same way. It's like, who's Michael Jackson the person and who's Michael Jackson the artist.
Oh yeah, because like because of how big Michael Jackson was and like how like just huge his shows were and him as like a performer, like we really do see him so high up on this pedestal. Yeah. And
sometimes people forget he was like a person with a lot of struggles.
To even think of him as like a normal day-to-day person that like would function like anyone else does. It's hard to think of that.
Yeah. And I also think that Michael Jackson, like his stage persona, what was a persona. I don't think that like that's how he acted normally, like in his day-to-day life. I think, you know, people even have said that he sounded different. Like his voice was totally different.
I've heard that. Yeah.
And he intentionally like spoke an octave lower, like just to have that separation. But it's hard when you grow up, and you know he was so young when he became famous that, you know, that's a hard separation right there. Like how do you even do that? I don't know.
Yeah. So who knows? I mean,
it's possible.
Dude, maybe Chappell Roan should have been like the real world Hannah Montana. We should have never like found out her real name, or like what.
She apparently she doesn't like when people like say her real name.
No,
like,
I get it, because like hey, you don't know me as that.
Yeah, like it's not like Taylor Swift being called Taylor. It's like that the brand is Taylor Swift. Like it's not the same thing. Or Michael Jackson being called Michael. It's Michael Jackson is the brand. Like you know, it's that kind of thing. But it's like if you like, I don't know, who's someone who just goes by like Zendaya. Like if you just drop like Zendaya's full government name, I feel like she would have been like
last name and everything.
Yeah, like the whole thing. Like I think she'd be like, what? Because like she's just gone by Zendaya, so it's like, you know, or Madonna, same thing. It's like Cher.
Or like an example you shared with me recently. Hey, Norma Jean.
Oh no, yeah, like. Yeah,
who?
Marilyn Monroe.
I
feel like a lot of people would know that though. Like they wouldn't know maybe like immediately, but when you say, "Oh, Marilyn Monroe."
Yeah, like I meant like in this scenario of like if you saw her on the street and you're, instead of being like Marilyn.
If people saw Marilyn Monroe on the street, they would be like, "You're alive."
Yeah, again, in this scenario where she is alive and like you saw her on the street, you wouldn't say Norma Jean. You'd be like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, you'd be like, "Oh my god." Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I feel like that's one of those situations too. What are some, I'm trying to think of like male, because I feel like there's a lot of like female like artists.
Bruno Mars. I don't think his name is Bruno Mars.
Yeah, Bruno Mars. Yeah, I think that's a good one.
I'm going to look that up right now. Just like what we talked about on the on the Tech Am I the Asshole.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking up.
I know that there are
his real name right now.
A few ones like that. I just can't remember them off the top of my head.
Peter Gene Hernandez.
Oh, wow.
Not as catchy as Bruno Mars.
No, Bruno Mars is a mad catchy stage name.
Lady Gaga is a stage name. Well,
of course.
We're not talking about males.
Well, no. Lady Gaga is.
That's one that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
For males, though. And males just normally just go by their name.
Yeah, I mean, think a lot of women do too. So it's like, it's kind of 50-50. I think in terms of like show business, I think having a stage name is smart
Yeah.
because it's like there is some separation between who you are as a person and then like your persona, your art, that's why I think, it does, like, it's like, but still, like if you went up to Lady Gaga and said her full government name, she would be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, Stephanie, right?
Yeah,
Something
Stephanie.
like that.
It's like Germanata, something like that. Yeah, and like, but yeah, it's like same with Chapel Roan. Go up to
Yeah.
Chapel Roan. Chapel Roan would probably bite your head off. I would imagine.
It's funny in a
Yeah.
smaller way.
Fair enough.
In my world of esports, specifically Halo esports, I've been lucky enough to finally have the chance to go to some events. I always dreamed of that as a kid, and now I've lived it as an adult. If I meet anyone, I call them by their player name. I don't call them like, "Hey, Kyle."
Yeah, it's because you don't know them personally.
I'll be like, "Oh my God, Elamite Warrior, what's up?"
Yeah. I feel like that makes sense because, you don't know them personally. Like, unless they've chosen to be like, hey, my brand is also like what I'm creating under.
Yeah.
Then that's, fair game. Like calling, Michael Jackson Michael or like Taylor Swift Taylor. Like, I think that's fine because it's like that's their brands, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when it's like, going up to someone with a dedicated stage name and being like, I know your full government name is really weird. Like that's like they specifically have a stage name for a reason.
Yeah.
So, but it would have been just like this, like, oh, if someone found out like that Hannah Montana's real name was Miley and then going up and saying, oh, hi, Miley. Like, imagine how freaked out she'd be.
Yeah, because that's
like,
almost threatening in a way. It's like, hey, I know where you live. Almost.
Yeah.
It gives that kind of like connotation.
Yeah, it's like,
I know all about you.
Yeah, I know your secrets. Like,
yeah,
bro.
You better, and you can use that as like blackmail, leverage.
Yeah, it's leverage, dangerous, for sure.
It makes you think, what else do you know about me?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, exactly. It definitely gets dicey.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. To level with the little kid, though, I will bring up my own personal anecdote on the Amanda Show with Amanda Bynes. For the longest time, I did not realize Amanda Bynes was also playing Penelope Taint.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a legit different person.
Oh my God, really? That's funny.
So
that's funny. I never thought that, but
first of all, the name Penelope, I always thought it was Penelope like Tate or something, but it's Taint.
Yeah.
Spelled Taynt, but still
we know who created the show, so
right. But I guess that's all we'll say about that. But yeah, I was fooled as a kid too, and even as probably into my teens before I found out that they were the same person. So it's okay, little 8-year-old niece. I get it.
Aww.
I too was fooled.
It's like whoosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think when you're that young, you're not meant to necessarily understand all the things.
Right.
You're just supposed to like enjoy the content, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not. She's 8. Like, it's fine. Like, it's not like she's like 30 and she didn't understand it. Like, I would be way more worried about that. I'd be like, we're missing some key information. Like, for sure. But yeah, they're fine.
Yeah. In conclusion, you're not the asshole. Don't call your niece dense. And also,
at least not
for the sister.
Not to her face.
This is not childhood ruining. Come on now.
No, I feel like it's not definitely not like Santa. Like
bigger things.
Yeah, that's crazy
to worry about.
Yeah.
This trauma will be something that will be laughed at in years to come.
Yeah, this is a funny story.
Yeah, this is a very funny story.
This is a funny story, like around the dinner table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, alrighty, that's gonna do it for Am I the Asshole? Let us move on to TikToks.
Gotta pick one.
The list is yours.
There's so many more than the last time.
Oh yeah, I think I added a few.
Yeah. Let's do Tom Segura's son's name because I've seen this one a million times and I'm like, let's just do it now.
Okay.
It's not like Jamie Oliver's kids' names, right? Where it's like he has like interesting kids' names for his children. Like they're like unconventional names. Like
I'm not familiar.
I've definitely shown you.
Oh, you
before.
have?
Yeah, I've shown you because I have a cookbook of his that I really like, and he dedicated to his children. His children have very like interesting names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this might be a funnier story.
Okay.
He hates his real name, and this is something
Oh,
that
interesting.
came about a few years ago. And when it first happened, I got kind of nervous.
Oh.
So I did what you do in those situations. I asked other parents, and they were like, "Oh, it's just a phase." I go, "Well, no, he's a little phase. He's going through a phase. A lot of kids don't like their names, but it'll end in just a little bit." And I was like, "Oh, okay, it's a phase." Do you know how long it's been? About 3 years.
Yeah.
That isn't so much a phase, in my opinion, as a new path. That's where I think we
Yeah.
are.
Agreed.
His birth name is Julian. That's what we've always called him, and that's what he used to respond to because it's his fucking name, right?
Yeah.
He would also respond
Yeah.
to variations of it. Julian, Juju, Jujito, Julian. And he'd be like, mm-hmm. And then one day, about 3 years ago, I was like, "Hey, Julian." He was like, "Don't ever call me that. I hate that name.
Oh my gosh.
When you say that name, I want to die." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh
no.
my God." Okay. So now this kid will only talk to us if we call him by his self-imposed name, which, buckle up, is teacher. Is there a creepier name to use when addressing a small child? Like, "Hello, my teacher." Is this The Shining? Because it feels like
I
it.
could think of a creepier name,
It
but
feels like
same
Jordan
level.
Peele's next movie, like a fucking
Oh
kid
jeez.
from the woods that walks into town to follow teacher and live long. You're like,
Yeah, I
"Okay."
can see that.
You
Oh my
get it,
God.
right? I walk into my own house and I go, "Is teacher here?" And he goes, "Yes." And I go, "Hello, sir." And people have the balls to ask me, they're like, "Are you worried?" Of course I'm fucking
Are
worried.
you worried?
The only other person I know that went by teacher is Charles Manson. So yeah, I'm worried.
So yeah, I'm
He
worried.
hates his real.
Oh my god.
So I saw this and I was like, "Oh no, Tom Segura, you're about to get canceled by
Yeah.
like the trans community."
I feel like Tom Segura would have probably been like, if it was like a trans situation, he'd be like all for it. He'd be like fine with it. But this is just one of those situations where he's like, I just don't get it. Like, he's,
Yeah,
Like-
I was worried when this first started. I was like, "Oh no, Tom, don't do this,
Yeah,
don't do this." Then I
don't do
saw
this. Yeah.
the name and I was like,
you're like, oh,
I see you, Tom. I see why you're like a
Yeah.
little like worried, creeped out because I'm just like,
isn't his
damn.
kid like not that old either? Like, isn't he like,
I don't. When did this come out?
yeah, because like he mentioned child, so that makes me think, oh,
Yeah.
10 under. So I'm like, yeah, I can see how you may be worried
I
about
think
that.
this was posted like last year, so yeah, probably he's probably not that old.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's not like a teenager even.
Yeah.
So like,
So I was worried
Being
when this
new.
first came out, and I was just like, "Oh no, Tom, where are we going with this?" And I was like, "Oh, I might have to disagree with you here." Like, I know his humor is quite. It can be offensive, like treads the line of
on
offensive. It's
offensive,
not like
yeah.
full on like, oh man, he's like fully like offending everyone, but
No,
like
no.
it dances that line for sure.
it does. Yeah, like he says maybe more accurately controversial things sometimes.
Yeah, like
Not-
kind of shock value.
Yeah, definitely shock value.
But still, again, dances the line. Maybe tiptoes across it sometimes,
Yeah,
and then but
yeah,
that
yeah.
never fully is like, yo, he's so far beyond the line that
Yeah.
like there's no coming back. But I thought this might get to that point. But I laughed at it. I'm just like, damn, yeah, like a
Yeah.
little kid. Hello, teacher.
Hello, teacher.
that's fucking that's a little weird. But like,
Yeah, it's a little like odd
yeah,
for sure. When he said, "Oh, can you think of like a more like
a creepier name.
creepier name?" I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I can. Yes, I can. In fact, I was just like, I mean, at least he's not saying like master or something like that. Like,
Oh,
I would have been like, that's a little.
obey your master.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a little weird. I'm just like, oh no, that's not good. That's really not good.
Yeah, that'd be like a little kid being like, "Call me God."
Yeah, like,
Oh!
bro, really?
Are you the second coming of Christ? Hello?
Even like Christ would have not been like, call me God. Like,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, geez, okay. I'm like, that's a little presumptuous, is it not?
Yeah. Now, I don't know if I've told the story here, but I probably told it on my other podcast, Wandering. But for me, the nickname culture with Filipinos is quite strong.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
just a real quick story on like my name, in case you don't know. My name is Juan Paulo, and I was named after Pope. I almost said Saint. Pope John Paul II, because the year I was born, 1995, was the year he visited the Philippines. I was also born in the Philippines, so they named me a variation of John Paul. Just to be a little creative, Juan Paulo.
Yeah, Spanish influenced.
And they gave me the nickname Pope, and there's nothing wrong with that nickname. It's just it confused me as a child. Like I didn't know how to introduce myself because like maybe part of me didn't even like know what my name actually was. I'm just like I'm being told it's this, but my parents are calling me this, and
Like you didn't understand the concept of a nickname.
I didn't, and so
Yeah.
like I didn't know how to tell like other little kids, be like, my name is Juan Paulo, but you can call me Pope.
Yeah.
Because like the only other nickname I had ever heard, I mentioned I was born in the Philippines, but I moved to the United States when I was 1, so I was basically raised here. And any other nickname I'd ever seen on a kid was just a shortened variation of their name, which I think is pretty normal, at least in American culture. I know some other cultures like Spanish people, you also do this. So, but for me, I just didn't understand that, and kind of more or less gave me a little identity crisis.
Yeah.
And don't even get me started on how like my mom tried to make Juan Paulo just like almost like a double name,
Yeah,
a double first name,
a double barrel name.
Um,
Yeah.
Because like I remember telling teachers, I guess my mom had told my teachers to call me Juan Paulo, but like I told them something different. I was like,
Yeah.
please just call me Juan.
Just one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then did they ever? I can't remember if they did or not. I feel like you may have said this. Did they ever try to do like the abbreviation like JP like that?
Yes, I didn't like that either.
Yeah, I don't like that either
Mhm.
for you, but I can see why you would do that with like a double barrel name.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so I relate to like not liking a nickname given to you. Well, it's a little bit different in Tom Segura's son's situation, but
Yeah. That is just kind of like an adjacent story.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like I've said in the past, like your name is like a gift. You can return it if you'd like,
Yeah.
or like exchange it. I meant exchange it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And like if our kids wanted to change their names, I wouldn't feel.
Oh yeah.
I would hope I wouldn't feel offended by that or anything. I'd be
Yeah,
like, okay,
for
you are discovering who you are, and I respect that.
Yeah, and it's like I do think like to some extent like someone's name is like, potentially a placeholder depending on like if they vibe with it or not.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I had the opposite problem where like my parents like went a little bit like when I started just going by Lex, they were like, that's not like your like real name or whatever, which I thought was silly because I'm like, nicknames are so common.
That's so funny. That is the exact opposite of what I went through.
Yeah, and even they would call me like Lex or like Lexus sometimes. Like they would like drop the A, or they would like just call me Lex. But then once I started like going by Lex, they more so do like my full name, which I think is funny because I'm just like, like why
I
does it matter?
remember when Bill like met your mom. She introduced herself as, "Hey, I'm Alexis's mom," and he didn't know who.
Yeah, he had no concept.
He was like, "Alexis, who?" Because he knows you as Lex.
Yeah,
so.
which is fair because that's how I introduce myself. So it's
Yeah.
like no one calls me my like full name except family. That's it. Anybody else calls me Lex because I don't introduce myself as Alexis. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't view myself that way.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm like, you're either a financial institution trying to get a hold of me and using my government name, or like your family and you're saying, my full name. But other than that, yeah. But going on the topic of like changing names, like I would definitely, if we ever decided to like have like the same last name, like I would definitely like just change the whole damn thing. Like
Just Lex, right?
It would just be Lex. Yeah. I wouldn't go with Alexis.
Yeah.
Because I'm just sort of like, it's simpler. Like,
Yeah.
It's simpler to just be like Lex and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's, no one calls me that except for my family. And like, they could continue to call me that, I guess, because it's like, you did name me.
Yeah.
So it's like, fine. But I would definitely, like, I would just change the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, hope you're doing well, teacher.
Teacher. Like that. Bruh. I want to know how old this kid is, though. Like, is he like 6? He's like
I'm gonna, you know what? Let me Google teacher Segura right now, see if anything comes up.
And if it was like anything else, almost it wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah.
But like, bro, Julian's not a bad name either. I like that name.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Not bad.
That's a cute name.
Yeah, it just comes up with his special on Netflix, which I think is called Teacher, which might be the whole premise of the special. It will always release December 24th. Oh, Christmas Eve.
Oh, okay.
So it is relatively new. We should watch it.
Yeah, we should watch it. That is relatively new.
We'll watch it. We'll watch the Hannah Montana anniversary, and we'll probably talk about it in the future Patreon bonus content episodes.
Yeah.
So look out for that.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That's
Let's
awesome.
do another one.
Okay, let's see. Just dumb people.
Oh.
What is this one? What?
The problem I have with dumb people is that no matter what you say, you're always at the behest of whatever it is that they can understand. And it's this way because dumb people don't ask clarifying questions. They believe that whatever it is that you say is exactly what they understood you said. And that part of asking clarifying questions is one of the biggest signifiers that I can tell that I'm going to be talking to somebody who wants to understand what I am saying. And so I talk a lot about dumb people and my observations of what dumb people do. And there's always some dummy in my comments saying, well, that's not what dumb is. So of course you're going to disagree, because if I'm talking about an observation that I have made on something that I think somebody did that is dumb, the dumb person is not going to clarify what I mean by dumb, and they're also going to interpret it as something that they didn't understand correctly.
And I'm also going to take it a step further and say that sometimes if they do ask clarifying questions, it's not always in good faith. And rarely is it in good faith. Sometimes it's... I don't know. It's just to sometimes even twist your words.
Or like instigate
Yeah.
something. Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, like they'll start off saying something like, so let me get this straight, and then list all these things that like oversimplify what you said, if at all simplify it, and kind of paint you out, I don't know, in a negative connotation. So
I wish I gave like an example, because I would like a more in-depth, like, I guess, construction of this situation. Like, I would want, like, because I feel like it kind of depends. Like, yeah, like, what does dumb mean to you? Like, that could mean, like, oh, you think someone's, like, like, what they did, like, an action they did was dumb. Or you could think that, like, that's a judgment call on their whole person. So
right.
I feel like that matters. But here I am asking clarifying questions.
I was just gonna say, like, this is why you're not dumb, because you're asking these clarifying questions.
Oh my god. I also think that's a little bit of a judgment call, though. Like saying that someone's just automatically dumb because they don't ask clarifying questions. They could just not give a shit about you, but that doesn't mean they're dumb. That just means they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that is true too.
Like, they could just be like, I don't care to speak to you any further, so I won't. Like, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. This one comment says it's a lack of curiosity. I think that plays a part in it too. Like,
yeah,
if someone's just not a curious person, it's like, hard to talk to them sometimes.
Yeah, because sometimes like he was saying, they take it at face value, which sometimes is fine. Because like, sometimes there are people who say what they mean and they mean it, and then there are some people who say what they mean and they mean something else, or they mean, like, they say one thing and then they're kind of just like, they want you to infer, like, with multiple steps how you're feeling as a person. Like, I feel like like it's definitely a like more direct versus indirect
Mm-hmm.
kind of situations, or like that's kind of like passive aggressive like comments or behaviors. It's like that's sort of what that is, like being like, oh, you're saying like something like generally, but in specificity someone's talking about you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it feels very pointed even though it's not being said pointedly.
Yeah, I get that. That's why I think it's a skill to like be able to discern the difference between the two and like kind of have a good read on someone. Like, okay, is this person more direct with what they're saying and like what they mean, or are they someone who they hide what they mean behind what they say, and you kind of have to dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah, and I think that is completely up to personality whether or not you want to do that. This is like very layered. This is very nuanced, because like if someone, for instance, like does make a passive aggressive comment and that other person in this conversation doesn't want to engage in that passive aggressive like kind of behavior, then like I would not call that person like dumb. I would definitely be like, they're just not wanting to engage.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends. Like, I think that they're probably speaking in a more like general situation where it's like if someone's like doesn't ask follow-up questions, then it makes them maybe potentially not curious, and therefore that's like them calling them like dumb or whatever.
Yeah. I do think you're right. I do think an example would have helped here to clarify what he meant. But again, I think it's a good sign that we are asking for clarification of like, what do you mean? Because it kind of proves his point. Like, because we're asking for that clarification. So
yeah, exactly. It's low-key kind of funny because in this situation, I would be like, I don't like need your external validation. Like,
what do you mean?
Like, because in this situation, like I'm making a lot of assumptions here because I don't know the whole context here of this very particular situation. But if I didn't ask a follow-up question to like whatever it was, like I said before, it could just easily have been, I don't want to engage with you. I don't want to talk to you. Like, or I'm just not particularly interested in what you're saying. You know? So I'm not going to be mean to you, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Like,
again, I don't think this should be taken as like a blanket statement.
Yeah.
I think this is like situationally.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's true.
I'm getting kind of political vibes from this. Like this might be like political, social conversations,
like
maybe.
Commentary.
But that, again, that's just the vibe I get. I could be wrong.
Could be wrong. Yeah. I wish I like, I want more because I'm like, this isn't enough context for me.
You're still on the fence with like, how you feel. I got it.
With how I feel about it. Yeah. Because I'm just like, I need a context situation.
Yeah.
Because this seems too general of a statement for me to like comment fully on it.
Yeah. Sometimes I think that fence that we're on is like where we find that nuance. So
yeah, true.
So still good to know that we're not dumb.
I certainly already kind of knew that for both of us, but
I wasn't too sure about me. One more.
Concrete versus abstract thinking.
That
sounds like this might be a heavier one.
Have you ever had an argument with somebody where they're not understanding the point you're trying to make, so you have to give them an example to illustrate that point?
Oh my God, that's funny.
Wait.
That's perfect.
I think this is the same guy.
That's perfect. That's crazy.
think this is the same guy.
That's perfect.
But okay, let me continue.
What you're able to do is focus on the example and nitpick that example, but not the point. That is called the stone soup rebuttal. And don't mind me just fighting for my life over here because of Butters. The people that do this are the people that illustrate who is a low-level thinker and a high-level thinker. Basically, who is a concrete thinker and an abstract thinker. The abstract thinker is able to understand what the general point is of what you are trying to illustrate and can ignore that not every example can be a one-for-one or perfectly given. And the concrete thinkers are only focusing on the thing that you were telling them, where they are taking everything literally. They are expecting that everything has to be perfect in the example to fit the broader point that you're trying to make, which if the point that you were trying to make was clear enough for them, they wouldn't have needed the example to begin with. Have you ever had an with somebody?
And I think that's where that comes in, is like you're talking to different people of different like levels, and also not just like intellectual levels, but also just different socioeconomic levels, different like financial levels, like different, like everyone's given like life experience is different. So like just the fact that they haven't necessarily had access to certain levels of education like doesn't necessarily mean they're not smart, right?
Yeah. This is why I'm such a proponent and do this in my own life. I absolutely tailor myself to who I'm with at any given point. Not as a form of like, talking down to them or whatnot, but like just as a consideration to make any conversation go smoothly between all parties. So I don't know. I think I learned from a very young age that reading people is such a valuable skill.
It is, yeah.
Being able to know and understand like the vibe someone gives off,
reading a room, like
maybe considering like what they know, what they don't know, what might be beyond them, what's definitely in their capability of talking to, what might be a sensitive topic for them, what their insecurities might be. All these things considered.
Yeah.
And I guess concrete and abstract thinking is one of the things like I just subconsciously like do when I like read someone. Like I'm just like, what level of conversation can I engage with you?
Yeah, like the interaction matters. Yeah, and I think like it's not one or the other either. I think it's sometimes it's both. Kind of like what you were saying. That, like you can engage in both concrete and abstract thinking, like on different levels. Yeah, I think I am definitely like kind of both. Like I like thinking in an abstract kind of way, like in like a thought process kind of way. But I also think I think concretely sometimes in like a situation where like maybe I'm heightened in anxiety because it's like you need that concrete, like that safety net kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of like depends on the situation.
Yeah. He said something about like something along the lines of like one-to-one examples, not perfectly proving your point, something along that. And what I took from that is that, I think some people, especially if you're in a conversation that it's kind of leaning towards like an argument, is some people like when they ask for you to back up like your point, you need to have like absolutely like perfect arguments.
Yeah,
and
true. Like some people have that
leave no doubt, that are irrefutable, and I just think that that's damn near impossible.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's always like nuance or different like ways of looking at things, or even just like how whomever you're talking to, like that in and of itself is going to kind of inform like how the other person is like feeling or what they're saying or how they're thinking. So
right.
Yeah.
And I think depending on the person I'm with, how sometimes like I will withhold something if I don't think I can say it in a way that will be effective.
Like they will hear it.
Right. Yeah. Because if I don't think it's going to be effective with them, even if it's something I want to say, I just might not say it. I might just tell myself to move on.
Yeah, I do think that that is like an art too of knowing what you can and cannot say. I think that's definitely true. And I also think that sometimes it's also an art to know, like, can you push the boundary a little bit? That as well. I don't know. It's interesting. Like what does this guy have like a background in? Or is he just like kind of just like having thoughts and putting them out there?
His bio says armchair logician.
Logician, like logic and magician.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All opinions should be taken seriously and as fact. Which I'm reading that as sarcasm.
That's sarcasm, yeah.
He's from Georgia.
That's funny.
Or GA, whatever that might mean. But
it's funny. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he has some interesting thoughts for sure. Conversation starters. I do think we're two people that are just like, all right, we might need to clarify some things. We might need to find the nuance in some of these things.
Yeah, like these are the conversations where I'm like, I want it to be a bigger conversation.
Yeah.
Like I don't want this to be like a one-off kind of thing. Like I
Yeah,
want
because
this
it
to be
kind of comes off as almost blanket statement like.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that because it's like, but I also think it's like just the fact that it's like a short video and things like that. Like there's the.
Like he's not totally wrong.
No, of course
But
not.
he's not totally right either.
Yeah, there's like a middle ground for sure.
There is nuance.
Yeah, there's nuance, and then there's also like, just like like I would say, these last two have definitely been like, I have more questions than I do answers. Like it makes me curious to know more about like what he's specifically saying.
Yeah.
But like it's not like its own like ecosphere. Like this little thing is just like its own little grain. It's like actually a bigger thing. Yeah, it's interesting.
Cool. Well, that is going to do it for us for TikTok.
Nice.
Lex, is there anything else you want to say? Anything about any of the TikToks? The of the assholes?
No.
Hannah Montana?
Hannah Montana.
Lucky Kentucky.
No, I think I'm good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, folks, that is going to do it for us for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us and listening. I'm going to try to do this without reading, see how much I remember. If you don't want the party to end, consider subscribing to us over on Patreon, where we do a few... Fuck, I already fucked up. Where we record for a few extra minutes and do extra content. Or if you'd rather, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/nuancedafpod. I'm sipping on some Dunkin' today.
I'm also sipping on Dunkin', just in my walla.
Your Cocoa Delight. What's it called?
Cocoa Delight. It's got Cozy Cocoa.
Cozy Coke.
Cocoa Delight.
I was close. I knew it was Cocoa
Good.
something.
I like that one. That's funny. Cocoa Delight. I want you to look at all my wallas and then rename them.
Oh. That's funny. That's funny. Well, maybe that'll be a small segment on the show. Come out with a wall every time, and I'll give it a name. You tell me what the real name is.
Yeah, that's funny. I like that.
Yeah. Or if you want a free way to support, consider subscribing to us over on YouTube. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so we can monetize our channel. You can find all our links in the description or the show notes or at linktree/nuancedafpod. That is linktr.ee/nuancedafpod. Thank you so much for joining us and listening. Fuck.
You're doing great.
And as always, in a world where there is and in a world where nothing is black and white, it is our jobs as human beings to find, understand, and be that nuance, because we're all nuanced AF.